So, Mark, did you see the guy who made a bad decision in Laughlin? I'm assuming it's a guy because only a guy would do this, right? Just somehow get your truck in the middle of the river. I mean, how does this even happen?
They just really love Laughlin. They wanted their truck to be there forever. I don't know. Was the bridge like backed up? I know that can be a pain point, but I don't know why he would be like, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to drive down the road. Let's just cross right here.
There has been a heat wave, so, sometimes you just need to cool off.
This is why they need the horse and buggy still there. He could have done it like Oregon Trail. He died of dysentery.
Isn't that just eating at the buffet there? So let's start by talking about Tilman Fertitta. Obviously, he was the chairman of Golden Nugget, Landry's, a lot of different companies, but he no longer is because he had to step down because he is the Italian ambassador for the United States and he had to kind of give up his job there. But he's also the largest single shareholder of Wynn Resorts with just about 10%. He's cleared by the state to actually go above 10%. Once you get to a 10% threshold, you need to get approval. And obviously he already has other casinos, stuff like that. But he sent his lawyer to kind of tell Wynn executives he's not happy with the share price. He's not happy with what's going on there. So finally, we're seeing him sort of exert his influence, even though he can't be an active shareholder. He can't be on the board or anything like that. He's just kind of over there eating pizza in Italy, telling him he's not happy.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. It's been kind of stagnant, but that's kind of been a lot of stocks, especially in the casino market. I feel like we talked about when he bought it and it went up shortly after, and now it's been up, down, up, down, up, down. So, I mean, it's his fault for not buying in 2022 when it was like 50, 60 bucks.
I think it got up to close to 130-ish at its high over the last couple of years. It's in the 80s right now. As you said, it's followed the same sort of path as a lot of other casino stocks, which have just been very volatile over the last few years because of the nature of the business and the economy, and certainly there's a weird outlook for the summer. So I don't know that Wynn has underperformed compared to their peers, but he's a rich guy. He's been very successful. So I'd say he probably knows what he's talking about a little bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point when he's done being an ambassador, if he really tries to have more influence on this company.
Yeah, I could see him fighting for a board seat or getting somebody on the board when he's able to and coming in. So maybe you're talking me into buying, man. I'm thinking now's the time to buy.
Well, here's something to buy. We like to talk nostalgia on here, and a lot of people don't know about this, but Dive just turned 30 years old. Of course, it hasn't been there for 20 plus years. That's the submarine restaurant. 90s was the era of themed entertainment, themed restaurants, all of that stuff. Steven Spielberg created Dive. Had that big submarine. I never went inside. I don't have any memory of actually eating there or being inside of it, but I remember the frontage. It was huge. It stood out right across from Treasure Island, and it would have been 30.
I mean, we could have another thing that has a water feature with no water running in Vegas right now if it was still open.
Yeah, I think Chris Holmes has been all over that. Aria's water feature, obviously Park, where they had those waterfalls there, turned off. MGM has basically turned off the water from all the water features. We had previously talked about Mandalay Bay. Obviously, Excalibur has all the sand, and New York, you have the fake grass. It just goes on and on. They really hate water features now.
Yeah, this does look pretty epic, though, walking by. Like, it would fit in Vegas right now. I think it'd be kind of cool to see, and sad that it didn't do so well, but it was like, just from the video, massive, and you could hear it from across the street, just loud, water gushing everywhere. It seems like it'd be pretty epic. I'm sad that you never went in.
It's like the most 90s facade ever, right? I mean, just the way it looks, it was built in the 90s, in that era. And yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people. I know every time pictures come up of that, a lot of people share their fond memories, say the food wasn't all that good, but it was kind of cool inside. I really wish I would have gotten to do it. My parents never really took me to very many themed places. I remember there was this place called Etta Bevick's, which I think is still around in Los Angeles. That was the 50s diner, that was a big when we were kids, right?
Really
all
rude.
These 50s diners everywhere. Yeah.
I went to one of those in Chicago. I don't know if it's still there, but it was fun, interesting experience. And then you try to play as a 12-year-old that thinks he's smart and witty. You try to play into it, and then they just hammer you down even harder.
But let's talk Venetian. We have a couple of stories from Venetian, but starting with Via, their new food hall is now open. And when you're looking at the eateries in there, it does look like they went trying to find high-end, fast, casual places from other cities. For example, Scar's Pizza out of New York. And I went and looked at their Yelp. It was a 3.9 review. So, I mean, New Yorkers are really tough on judging pizza, so hard to tell how that was. Howlin' Ray's I've heard of, and a lot of people say it's great. I know the first person I saw was Chris Holmes, who went and ate there, said it was really good, said it was better than Houston's Chicken, which is a local sort of hot chicken place that a lot of people love. And it looks really nice in there. I can't wait to go check it out. Venetian, I think they did a good job on this.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful food court. It reminds me of like what you see at Durango or Fontainebleau. Very similar vibes to it. I do think they put enough seating in here, which Durango does not have enough seating, which is sad. And Fontainebleau probably has too much seating. It's never busy enough. So they've kind of found the middle spot or the sweet spot for it. So I'm excited to check it out. And I've always loved the food at Venetian. So I'm assuming that they brought in stuff that I'll love as well. So yeah, I think they hit it out of the park on this one. A very good food court, Sean.
And it's got all the boxes checked. You got your Mexican place, your Italian place, your chicken place, burgers. So yeah, go check it out. We have another story about Venetian. This is part of their $1.5 billion renovation. Some insights from that coming up a little later in the show. But let's move over to Resorts World. pastaRamen is a pop-up in Bar Zazu for the next month. And this was covered by the Las Vegas social account. And they have some interesting stuff there. Truffle porcini ramen is what they're advertising. Mochi ramen carbonara, that did not look very good. 100 guests a day only can go in there. So I guess scarcity is in.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I've never thought of Italian and ramen mixed together, but it seems kind of interesting. And I would definitely check it out. And the cheese wheel one that looks kind of like cacio e pepe, which is a Roman dish, gives similar vibes there, but with ramen. And I would eat that one. That one looked delicious. And I think it's kind of cool that they're limiting how many people can come in and pop up something unique and worth going to. I think it's something that will draw people into Resorts World. I mean, not in big numbers if it's only 100 people, but I would go out of my way to check it out if I was able to get in.
I love in the video, and I didn't get a chance to look up how much this was, but the one in the cheese wheel, they has truffles on top, and they shaved a ton of truffles on top of that thing. So it's probably $100 worth of truffles in the video. I doubt you're going to get that much. I don't know how much it costs, but I agree it looked absolutely delicious.
Yeah, I'm not usually a big truffle fan, but if you get really good truffles, it takes it to the next level for sure, and those look like good truffles.
So moving over to MGM, they've had this long-term agreement with Royal Caribbean partnership for, gambling and being able to take each other's elites and offer things to them. But they just keep stepping up the benefits. They offer free cruises, but now they've kind of made that even better. For Noir and Platinum, you can get really nice cruises or even a credit towards other cruises, depending on what you're choosing. Gold gets their 5-day cruise as well. They upped the onboard credit from the $25 for Sapphire up to $200 for Noir, basically cementing their partnership. And then also some onboard benefits and, reciprocal benefits. This is the strongest, I think, casino cruise ship partnership that exists today now.
Yeah, and we talked about this when the credit card first launched and if it's worth spending, to try to get to gold. And this was one of the big perks of gold, and they're making it even better. So that kind of in turn makes the credit card look a little bit better. If you were considering that and you like cruises, maybe this is something that gives you a shove. I mean, now I'm kind of like, maybe I should participate a little bit. Maybe I should go back and rework the numbers and see if this makes sense and everything, but it's enticing. And I think a lot of people that love Vegas also love cruising. So it's a good partnership for sure.
Noir, you're getting up to a junior suite. Platinum, getting up to a balcony or the 1500. And then obviously the gold, you're getting an ocean view stateroom. So they're not even sticking you on the inside like what I have right here. Thanks so much, Boyd Rewards, for that. But yeah, overall good stateroom upgrades, really good stuff all around. As a reminder, we have our Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to our weekly after show where you can learn the crazy words that I make up in the outtakes. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information, and thanks to everybody who supports us over there. So every couple years, they do a visitor survey of Laughlin. They do it every year for Vegas, and we've talked about the Vegas one quite a lot. We're not going to spend too much time on the Laughlin one, but it was interesting diving into the numbers to see over the last decade how visitorship to Laughlin has changed. Specifically now 90% of people are repeat visitors, and that's up quite a bit over that period of time. A lot obviously coming from the local areas. I thought it was going to be a lot of 70 plus, a lot of the older people, and it seems like there's a lot of people our age that are going there now that perhaps used to go to Vegas finding more value in Laughlin. And that seems to be what the data says. What were your takeaways?
Yeah, except for Corona lights, for $11. And they just really wanted to see the Home Depot shed garden thing that you talked about. They miss a Mirage and they're like, hey, if we drive a couple hours over here, we can pretend that we're in Home Depot, but in a casino. It's great. I think it's interesting. 90% return kind of makes me worried about the future, because how are you going to get those new people to come to be returns if you're not getting any influx of people, and they don't have, new casino openings, new restaurant openings, all that stuff to really glitz and glam and draw people in. I think they're relying on new people are the offers you get from like a Caesars or MGM to go to Laughlin, on their chartered plane type of thing, which I've gotten several times, and just haven't been able to make it quite work. But I've been once this year or last year, and I really loved it. I want to go back. I want to spend more time there. I would spend a couple nights there. I don't know that it's like a week long stay type of place, but I think 1 to 2 nights is worth it for me at least. I thought the difference in vibe was good, a little bit more laid back, entertaining, all that stuff, and you get a little more value. The rooms are cheaper. You have the water right there. I mean, it's so good that people ruin their trucks driving across the river to get to Laughlin.
This is true. I think Laughlin's similar to Biloxi. I like Biloxi a lot better as a destination, but I agree with you. The river is cool, and in the summer you can be on the water. It's great. Obviously, it gets very hot. It sort of tells me that Laughlin is relying on the scraps from Las Vegas, the leftovers, the people who are giving up on Las Vegas because they don't want the nickel and diming as much and they want a little bit more value. I think we've talked about this before. I just wish there was more new, more renovated. Harrah's did just renovate, so that's a good thing there.
And I mean, it's worth going just to see River Rick, right?
Yes. River, what did I call him? How did I mess that up before?
I don't know if it was like Laughlin Vic or.
Our next thing is an email from a viewer who stayed at Horseshoe recently and just sent some picture of the way the hallway looked, which didn't look very good. You see this in Vegas often. These hotels just get beat to death, and unfortunately, sometimes this happens, although this looked really rough. But the main point of the email was saying that he hadn't heard a lot of people discussing these clean air sensors that are in the rooms, and they're basically designed to stop you from smoking in the room. If you haven't noticed, there's a real problem with people smoking the green stuff in the rooms, and it's become an issue smell-wise. It costs them money to get it out. A lot of times they don't. Like my last room when I stayed at Harrah's, it just had this smell to it. Yeah, so this is actually spreading.
That's
more
just
and more
Harrah's.
hotels are going to do it. Well, the point is, if you're going to do that, watch out, right? Because the sensors are there, and then you're paying a fine. This is a thing, though.
I mean, I can't blame them. It's expensive to clean it, and I'm sure they're just taking the money and not really cleaning it. But this was a problem back in the days when they had smoking rooms, and you went in there, and it smelled so horrible, and I can't even imagine how long it takes to like get that stench out. You probably have to change all the carpet, repaint, all the stuff. So I can't blame them for that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the picture at first, I was like, "Oh, did Sean put the Imperial Palace crap back in there again?" It was so bad.
I thought the same thing when I was looking at the picture. I was like, it looked like those Imperial Palace abandoned rooms we talked about. I mean, he points out $350 at Rio is the charge. They have these in there. At Paris, it's $550. At Horseshoe, it's $500. But obviously, you don't be stupid. If you know it's there, don't do it. You're not going to get away with it. It's like the people who on an airplane go to the bathroom to vape or something, not expecting the alarm that's 1 foot above their head to go off. It's going to happen. They're going to charge you. And now they have evidence. And this is really the problem, is in the past, it was anecdotal. You would say, oh, it wasn't me. It was from before. Now they have the technology to help them say, yes, you did it. Yes, we're going to charge you.
The smoking fee has always been a thing. It's just technology has gotten better. So they're cracking down on it, and don't be surprised if you get hit with the fee, and you probably deserve it. And then I think the email also said the tax was very high, like 17% on this. So it's going to be even more.
We always got to get our taxes, got to pay for the stadiums. It's crazy for sure. Speaking of crazy, Mark, I am so excited. My crazy girls are coming back. I saw them at the Riviera on their last day. I saw them get driven down the strip, taken away from the front of the Riviera. I was at Planet Hollywood when they got removed and watched them be paraded down the strip again. And on June 25th, they're going on parade again, but this time to their new home at Circa. We talked about Legacy Club at Circa and how they were building a new entrance downstairs. Vital Vegas had been hinting that there was one more big surprise, and this is it. The crazy girls are coming home to Circa. I could not think of a better place for them. I am so excited that this is finally out of storage. As far as I understand, it's just been sitting in a storage unit since basically, 2020, 2021 when they took it out.
I think it's a great location, a great spot, and Circa's done this quite a few times with historical Vegas things. And this just goes to show how Fontainebleau did it so wrong with this stupid sports memorabilia hall of fame / museum, whatever, and charging for it. Circus is putting all this stuff in for free, and that draws you. Like, people want to go see Vegas Vicky. They're going to want to come see the showgirls and everything and rub them for luck and all this stuff. That's what you do. You present people with something that's interesting that's going to make them come to your place, and you don't charge them for it because you're hoping that they're going to spend money while they're there. Derek Stevens gets it.
Now Derek Stevens has Vegas Vicky. He has Mannequin Piss. He has the Crazy Girls. I mean, it's just incredible.
And you have all the gold up in the Legacy Club to go look at, like $1 million in gold. It's getting smaller and smaller by the day.
I will say there is nothing more weird than slapping the butts of those showgirls. You feel so wrong as you like rub them for good luck. And I had lots of fun selfies and stuff like that as they were being removed from Planet Hollywood. It's also, I'll show you guys, I'll throw it up on screen, what they look like on the other side. They're hollow on the other side, which is sort of weird to see, but always nice. Just a great piece of Vegas history to be preserved, and so glad that they're doing it over at Circa. And it just makes Legacy Club even more exciting, and Circa even more exciting. Another thing to go see inside there.
What if he pulls it off, Sean, and gets Buck and Winnie into Circa? How crazy would that be?
That would be amazing, but I'm pretty sure stupid Caesars destroyed them. But yeah, let's throw all of Vegas history, everything in there. Just make Circa into a museum, and maybe they'll get Tom Brady's rings after the contract runs out with Fontainebleau.
I thought you were going to say in the foreclosure sale.
And let's close with this. The Venetian CEO, Patrick Nichols, was on Fox Business talking about the $1.5 billion renovation. A lot going on there. Via, the new food hall, Bazaar Meat coming, all the other new restaurants they have. A few interesting bits of information came out of this interview, some good, some bad. In the 3 years since Apollo took over, they have deployed $700 million of the $1.5 billion that they plan to spend on the renovation. He said 4,000 of the 7,000 suites are now renovated. We don't personally love the new look of the suites, but they are renovated. He also said the other 3,000 are going to be done over the next few summers, so it's going to be a while before every single room is. And then he talked about this summer, and we talked about softness, and he definitely said the summer is soft. He said people are shortening their booking windows. This seems like a lot of spin to me, but we did see that during COVID, that people booked a lot closer in, and that seems to be the data. So he seemed to be hopeful that the summer will be saved by these kind of close-in bookings. He said the fall looks really strong. So we'll stop there, because he also said something else that was just not something you should say. But what do you think about all of that? Are you excited that private equity has taken over the Venetian?
No, and I want to know about the cranes and tarp building gate. Like, can we get something with that?
I don't know, but he did say that one of the advantages of the Venetian is that they're owned by private equity, because it's about the people, and you can see the CEO there. And I didn't ever realize private equity was about the people. I thought they were just about ruining iconic brands, but apparently that's not the case. They're about the people. He does say something very interesting. They are a standalone property, kind of similar to Fontainebleau, others, so you don't have the big corporate sort of structure there with like MGM Rewards or Caesars Rewards. But again, they are owned by one of the biggest hedge funds in the world. So, you know, they have that to go for them. But he also made a joke, which I thought was really off color. He said, "We always raise prices if there's an opportunity." And that was his quote, word for word. And that is Las Vegas in a nutshell.
I mean, that's business in a nutshell to a point. At least hotel business, or travel industry. You get what you get when you can. And when there's an event going on, you charge through the sky. People get rooms canceled if they booked it before they realized that there was an event and all this stuff, but you just don't say it out loud. You just pretend like it's not a thing.
I kind of watched that a couple times, and I feel like as soon as he said it, he kind of regretted that he said it. But, you know, he was on Fox Business, and the people he was talking to didn't feel like that was out of place. I will say, I talk about private equity. We've talked on our other shows about Southwest and what's going on there, and really the death of a beloved brand. Apollo really knows the casino industry, and they've done fairly good transitions here, and I think what they're doing with the Venetian is actually largely very positive. It needed some investment. The Adelsons hadn't put a ton of new investment into it, and I liked everything. I mean, the convention center is great compared to what it was. I mean, it seems like a little thing, but they really made that better. This food hall, a lot of the new restaurant concepts, renovating the rooms. Obviously, they'll probably sell it at the end of this. That's generally what happens. But in this case, I actually think they have improved the Venetian, and they took a great opportunity because they bought it at the time right before the Sphere got built, and the marketing around all of that has been spectacular. So I really don't have any gripes with Venetian or their current management at all.
I think they've done a really good job, and we've seen what, just trying to scrape every dollar you can has done to Southwest and what it will do into the future. And I think that they've come from a place of, well, let's make this better, let's make it more valuable. And then, they bought before things really got crazy. So I think that's helped them too. Like the value has definitely gone up since they purchased it. So they have that to work with as well. Whoever they do sell it to, I hope if that's what they are planning to do, I hope it's somebody that's, you know, individual, has a vision type of thing versus MGM or Caesars just gobbling it up, or somebody else coming in that owns a couple casinos here and there. I'd like to, like a visionary come in and take it to the next level from there and maybe finish that dang building. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't. I mean, you would think it would be on their radar to improve everything, but yeah, overall, I think things are pretty good at the Venetian. I've said that it's one of the best integrated resorts in the world. Wynn and Venetian are the two. You could wander the halls of there for a week, have all kinds of different kinds of food, and honestly, the food is better at Venetian than at Wynn, certainly on the lower level, and it's just an incredible property. So the rooms are huge, square footage, Mark. Yeah, but they're going to raise the prices if there's an opportunity.
They always screw you over, though. You know, they're always coming for you.
I know they always break our hearts every single time. One of these times, somebody's not going to do it. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about Venetian, the new food hall there, everything else. Crazy Girls coming to Circa. Are you excited about that? Smoking sensors in the rooms. I'm kind of happy about that. I don't want to walk into a room that smells bad anymore. So leave a comment. Let us know about all these developments. We do 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. We'll be back in a couple days with another show. I have one more show before I get home, and then I'll be back to my normal studio with my boring Las Vegas thing directly behind my head that triggers so many of you.
Yes, no more delays and glitchiness. I'm looking forward to it. Have a good week, everybody.
Basically cementifying, Jesus Christ. Basically
Solidifying and cementing had a baby.
That's a great word.